Fuck. Alright, Piss and Vinegar day, fucking 1:16, and back day. So today I was gonna try and do a topic whilst I live narrate. So, you know, if you've watched my channel at all, you know that I often will work out, but not even really regard the workout in my post-workout narrations. And I won't really even talk about the workout. I'll just talk about random topics, whether it's related to fitness or not. Mostly related to fitness, but today I'm gonna be trying something different where I, you know, as I'm working out, I'll just start talking about topic. And today's topic is gonna be body dysmorphia, which is something that I struggle with. Again, labels are really important when it comes to these kind of things, because the way you interpret things or label it or, you know, word it, and words and names and labels give things power. So yeah, that's going to be today's topic, and don't know how it's going to go, but basically as I work out, I'm just going to, in between exercises, kind of give my 2 cents on this thing that I experience myself. All right. Weight stack is simply not heavy enough, and it's very annoying having to jimmy rig extra weights onto it, and a lot of the times these just fucking fall off. I'm hoping one day I can get a proper low row machine that has, you know, 140, 150 kilos of weights. Because it's also the mental aspect of, you know, seeing those weight stack plates and being like, oh, I can go out that extra weight stack every time or whatever, or trying to progress those weight pin jumps. Whereas when you hit the stack, you lose kind of a mental aspect of it, and then you're just kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Adding these plates on is, one, annoying, but two, it's not as satisfying as going, cool, an extra fucking, you know, weight stack pin. You'd think it would be. You'd think that, you know, getting so strong that your weight stack's not heavy enough anymore that you have to add extra plates would be gratifying, but not for me. Still no music, so these heavy compound lifts are a little harder. Definitely need to get around buying some headphones or earbuds so I can listen to my metal while I also narrate these videos. I'm gonna do a rest pause because I didn't feel right for some reason. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Yeah, it feels like way less friction now that it's at 70 kilos, which this is, it's now on the stack that this machine was built for. It wasn't built to be, you know, 90 kilos or whatever. So, oh, fuck. Whew. Man, even with straps, my grip's getting a real workout. When you strap straps on over and over again in drop sets, your thumb starts getting pumped up. So at the end of the day, my grip is actually getting trained pretty hard here. Oh, shit, my thumb's giving out. Now I'm gonna rest probably 4 or 5 minutes before my pull down. Dorian Yates, who, you know, is kind of the king of high intensity, he suggests that you only rest in between sets, or exercises rather, as much as your cardiovascular system needs. So if he was doing this workout, he would do the pull down, and so the row rather, and then as soon as he stopped breathing heavy and his heart rate went down, he'd immediately go into the pull downs. Now for me, especially, I do that if it's isolation movements coming up, but if it's compound movement back to back, I like to rest a little bit and let my strength recover so I can give that set as much as I can. So I just did a cable row, which is compound, then I'm gonna do a pull down, which is also a compound movement. So I can't just immediately jump into that. I could, and you know, I'd probably get the same result really, because all that matters is muscular damage, but mentally I wanna be able to move as much weight, as much reps as I can. And I wanna just be fresh and really ready to go. So I rest, you know, 4 or 5 minutes in between compound movements. Now, if this was a, say, bicep curl, or if I just did a heavy compound, not a compound, but if I just did a heavy bicep curl and it had to be followed up with another bicep curl, which is an isolation movement that isn't so much strength dependent, then I would take the Dorian approach where I would just rest as little as I needed and then go into the bicep curl. But in this case, it's a little different, which now gives me some time to talk about body dysmorphia. So the first thing I want to say about body dysmorphia, honestly, is it's good. Like, maybe not good for some people, but if you only have it mildly, like I do, or at least I interpret it as mild, because again, reality is what you make of it. Emotions are what you make of it. It's a Stoic principle that you choose to react a certain way to every stimulus in life. Now, to an extent, obviously, I mean, if a tiger jumps out of the woods, your parasympathetic nervous system is going to react on its own subconsciously. But how you actively react to certain things, whether it be anger to aggression, or sadness to loss, or anxiety from, you know, an external fear or whatever it is, most of this is entirely up to you. Now, you have to be human. You have to react a little bit to things, otherwise you're just a cold-hearted sociopath. But when it comes to body dysmorphia, rather than being like, oh, poor me, you know, I have this affliction where I see myself as smaller than I really am, or I keep looking at people who are on steroids with better genetics and wishing I look like that when I will never look like that. Rather than thinking about it from this point of view, I think, kind of like a Jocko Willink where he says, good. It is good if you allow it to be good. You interpret this body dysmorphia and go, okay, well, I'm not as big as I wish I was. I'm not as big as that guy, and I wish I was. So what am I gonna do about it? Am I gonna cry about it? I'm gonna wallow in my self-pity, or am I gonna keep training, keep eating well, am I gonna keep doing everything in my power to get as big as I possibly can? And, you know, at some point, if it gets too unhealthy, of course, it is a problem. If you are the size of Ronnie Coleman and you have body dysmorphia, which isn't uncommon. A lot of these huge steroid guys do have body dysmorphia, even as big as they are. Then of course, it's probably going to require some sort of psychotherapy or something. But if you're just a insecure teenager or a, you know, not insecure, because I'm not insecure, but if you're a displeased 26-year-old who wants to be even bigger than they already are, or you're striving for a goal, I wouldn't even necessarily call that body dysmorphia. I'd just call that being a man. You want to be better, and you're not happy with your situation. So what are you going to do about it? You're going to cry? You're going to call it body dysmorphia? Or are you going to call it, you know, being driven and unsatisfied with your lack of whatever, whether it be physical, money, success, whatever it is? It's just like a byproduct of that. So I'd be careful, first of all, calling, you know, your lack of muscle or unhappiness with your size some medical terminology such as body dysmorphia. Now, in saying this, you can't let it get too ahead of you. You can't let it rule your life. And honestly, I'm a little bit obsessive about it. I will look at my physique and I will compare myself to others. I'll look at my physique and think, you know, is this good? Is this bad? I can't. Like, sometimes it's hard to have a reference point because you are influenced by social media and stuff that gives you a warped sense of what is big and strong and what really, or what isn't. So then you have to, you know, compare yourself to the average Joe, for example. Walk down the street, look at the average person and see, like, am I fitter, stronger, happier, bigger, whatever, than this vast majority? And if you are, then, you know, be happy, have some pride in your gains, but at the same time, then don't allow that to then make you go, oh, well, that's it, I'm fine, I don't need to get any bigger or stronger. Always be striving, but yeah, I think you got to have some sort of rational thought behind it. Am I really suffering body dysmorphia, or am I just, you know, displeased, or am I just driven to want to be better? I really shouldn't spend too much time talking between drop sets. Drop sets are supposed to be almost immediate in between, but got carried away with myself. I just wanted to say that. Oh, fuck. Whew. Probably notice on the drop sets of these, I kind of, like I start pulling with the proud chest, and then with a close grip, I find you can emulate almost like that Nautilus pullover machine, which I really wish I had, by pulling down and then kind of doing this at the end, which is the opposite of what they always tell you to do with pull downs, because pull downs is always chest up, shoulders back, never pull down in front of yourself, but that's how pull downs are performed, and that's part of the function of that, is this movement here. So I find that when I get to my chest, then going a little bit over like that, just really annihilates my lats. Now, in saying all that stuff about body dysmorphia, I would, if I had the option of some magical button where I click it and I just stopped giving a shit about building muscle, and albeit I still go to the gym because I don't know, like by some, here's the oxymoron of it, is if I click that button, there's a good chance I won't go to the gym. So you have to have some obsession about wanting to be huge or muscular or strong, because otherwise if you didn't, you just wouldn't even do it. So like, if I had the button to turn it off, if it was some magical button where I turn it off and I still go to the gym, and I still train as hard as I do now, but I just didn't give a shit about the muscles, I didn't obsess about it, of course I turn it off, because it is bothersome. I do obsess a little bit too much. I'll be watching movies and, I do feel, especially for, 14, 15-year-old kids, which used to be me, but now in this era where everyone's a fake Natty and every fucking movie's got like a, Chris Hemsworth, where it's just an impossible standard, or at least close to impossible. I feel for these 14-year-olds, because you don't have the mental framework, or 16, 17, 18-year-olds, you don't have the mental framework to compartmentalize it and use logic, and you don't have any self-esteem yet, and other areas of your life that you're accomplished in, that allows you to fend off the insecurity of not being big. Because when you're 17, you're a loser. No offense if you're watching and you're 17, but you are. And I was, and we all are when you're 17. You've done nothing with your life, and it's fucking very tough when you've done nothing with your life, plus you're not huge. So, I feel especially for the younger youth on Instagram looking at, Micah Hearns and whoever the fuck that's a fake natural. I forgot what I was going with. Yeah, I would turn that button off if I could, even at 26 with, a far better mental framework and philosophy that's backing my ability not to get too down on myself and not being too huge. Plus, I'm already, I'm relatively big. I'm not 17, I'm 26, and albeit I have pretty shitty genetics and I've had inconsistent training, I'm decently big. So, I look in the mirror and I go, that's pretty good. But it's not as good as I'd like it to be. So I still obsess about it, and thus, if I could press that button and turn that obsession off while still going to the gym, I would. But the thing is, you can't turn that, there is no button for that. And even if there was, it's a good chance that if you did turn that button off, you would no longer give a fuck about going to the gym, and then you wouldn't have the health benefits, the social benefits, the success with so many different aspects of your life that you get from going to the gym. So, of course, keep it mediated, make sure it doesn't get out of hand. Don't, if you watched a video recently of mine where I was talking about harnessing dark energy, don't let that dark energy consume you. But use some of that darkness. Use the darkness of not being that big, looking in the mirror and go, oh, I look like shit. Use that to fuel you to work out harder and stay consistent and never give up. There's a few other tips you can do to really help with your body dysmorphia, and I'll get into that after this set. Oh, fuck. Oh. Ooh, yeah, fucking Oh, fuck. Oh. Whew. I used to do heavy cheat unilateral rows with dumbbells, and I honestly think they're better than this. Unfortunately, those dumbbells don't get heavy enough to allow for such a heavy weight, because they're very easily to I can easily strictly row 40 kilo dumbbells. But I used to use really heavy dumbbells, like 60, 70 kilos, and really cheated, but that, you get that really big stretch in that rhomboid. I feel like they're better than this, so, because I used to get really sore rhomboids after using that technique. This, I never get sore rhomboids, so might strap up those dumbbells and try that out. I might even try that now, after I get my breath back. So back to this body dysphoria, or dysmorphia. Dysphoria, that's the tranny thing. You can't say that. Fucking body dysmorphia, right? So these heavy cable unilateral rows are feeling good, but I used to do them with dumbbells because if you don't know why I do such horrendously bad form on these, is to get the stretch in my rhomboids. So there's a rhyme and reason. Always assume it's a rhyme and reason for what I do in this training. Now, the issue is I used to do it with these dumbbells and I would feel a lot more in the rhomboid. I get really sore rhomboids the next day. This I don't feel as much. It definitely does the same thing because the joint angle's the same and I'm getting that stretch overload, but I think it's better with dumbbells. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna get those dumbbells there, one of those dumbbells there that only goes to 40 kilos, which is not heavy enough, and strap it up with a 10 on a side or something like that, get it up to 60 and do some cheat unilateral rows with that instead. But back to body dysmorphia. I was about to say dysphoria, but that's nowhere as bad as dysphoria. Dysphoria is a horrendous thing to have. I feel bad for anybody that has that one, but dysmorphia, some of the things you can do to essentially mitigate it is, one, if you're not that lean, get lean. I had not been very lean for a long time until recently when I did my cut. I'm not lean right now, but when I was lean on my cut, throughout the cut, a lot of my, I want to say gender dysphoria. This is not a Freudian slip, trust me. My body dysmorphia, they indoctrinate you one way or the other, these rainbow people. So the body dysmorphia, when I was cutting weight, it went down quite a lot. But the thing is, I swapped out one obsession for another. I was always thinking, oh, am I getting lean enough? What's my weight on the scale? So it was almost the opposite. I had like a fucking eating disorder where I would just always wanted to get leaner and leaner and leaner. So, a lot of, I don't know about you guys, but I think a lot of people have this nowadays where you're just going to swap out one addiction or one obsession for another. And it is just important that you choose the best thing to be addicted or obsessed with. It's better that you get obsessed with building muscles and being handsome and jacked and successful than it is being obsessed with some scene girl with BPD who is insane and fucking cheats on you or some shit. Like just, you know what I mean? Like you want to obsess over the right thing, not over some insane thing. And same with addiction. If you're going to be addicted to something, be addicted to going to the gym instead of heroin or whatever. So that was the thing is, yeah, getting leaner helped with that, but it was only really because I was swapping out my obsession. And I've been obsessed with things before that were far less healthy than muscles. And it oftentimes, it will just randomly change, through the seasons of life. But for me, yeah, it's a switch of obsessions. And it's better I obsess about my muscles than, you know, like anxieties that I have, or like my PTSD or some shit, like is vastly superior to just be worrying about, am I big enough? So think of it also like that. What are you gonna obsess about? Some bad shit or some good shit? Oh, okay. All right, well, or maybe. The problem is I'm gonna be using a lot of momentum and cheating these reps pretty heavy, so fuck, that is a big fucking dumbbell, dude. That looks a lot more than 50 kilos when it's in fact 50 kilos. Oh wait, hold on, that's 70. Wait, no, that's 60. I'm fucking retarded. All right, well, let's see how it goes. I won't be needing this much weight for my dumbbell press, so that's all good. Not yet, at least. Oh, that feels pretty stable. It's just so fucking big, man. Oh. Oh, that's gonna fucking. Oh. Man, it feels all right, but it's a bit too big. It's just so awkward to hoist. And I was also apprehensive to use too much cheating form. But damn, man, I felt that in my back, in my lats, and my rhomboids. That's some heavy stretch overload. But the thing is, I've done heavier than that. This side so well. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it definitely feels less strong and stable on my left side. Oh. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I think my form is better now than it was when I did these previously, because I'm so ingrained into having more controlled form nowadays. And it's almost hard for me to cheat reps too heavily. I don't know, those have felt good, but I think the setup's gonna make it hard to adhere to. I can feel it quite a lot in the lower back. It feels good, but I don't know. I think I might have to just stick to those for now. The cable ones, because they're just so much easier, ease of access. Whoa. All right, I'm back. I was training a client. I wasn't really paying attention at the time. And after the unilateral rows, I realized that I had a client in like 10 minutes. So I'm back, which is fine, because I've been thinking about splitting workouts in half before, in the past anyway, because I wanted to try make every single set as intense and fresh as it could be. And, you know, like rear delt raises or flies or just any of these movements at the tail end of my workout, they're potentially being limited by my exhaustion levels or just lethargy in general from doing a really hard, high intensity workout thus far. So I kind of want to try that anyway. It just so happens that that's how it happened today, because I had a client. So I'm kind of sick of doing pullovers. I'm just sick of not being able to get what I could get out of a Nautilus machine, where you get this, you know, round resistance curve that gets a great contraction at the bottom and a great stretch at the top. So I just don't feel that right. I was feeling a lot in my triceps, not feeling a hell of a lot in my back. So I'm going to start I'm just going to try a new movement today. I'm going to try and train my lower lats, because part of the function of the lats is lateral flexion, and the lower lat is very much responsible for that. So I'm trying to kind of contract the muscles as much as I can by kind of bending over to the side whilst pulling down. And I can feel it cramping in my lower lats when I do that, just without any weight. So that's what I'm gonna do now, is try that out. So I've never done this exercise before. I've seen people do it vaguely, I saw some giant black dude in the gym that I used to train to do it. And he used to have huge lower lats. And that's something that I do not have. And I thought, maybe there's something that this guy knows that I don't. So I thought, fuck it, I'll give it a go. So I think really it makes sense that you do it from a slight angle, because if you do it this way, yeah, I can't quite get it. It has to be that. Ooh, that's cramping. Wow. Ooh, god damn. Oh shit. Oh. I feel like it's better if I lean over maybe. It's too light though. Cramping at the bottom. Ooh, god damn. I'm not sure, is this better? Oh shit. I feel more that way. Well, I'm definitely onto something there. I'm feeling that low lat. So, fuck pullovers. They ain't doing it for me anymore. I'm gonna start doing these. And again, I think the pullovers are kind of redundant, because the pullovers, you either do pullovers you either do pullovers or pull downs. They do the same fucking thing. The only slight difference in a pullover is that you train the serratus a bit more, because you get that full. But also, you know, with a Nautilus pullover machine, I can actually feel at the bottom, I'm actually feeling the contraction I get at the bottom of this. So realistically, the best thing you could do is have a Nautilus pullover machine, because you get that stretch at the top that you get from a pullover or a pull down or a chin up or a pull up. And then at the bottom, you get this contraction that I'm getting here. So to overcompensate for that, I'm doing two separate movements to get what I could get in one with a Nautilus pullover machine. But one day, I have a metal worker mate who keeps saying he'd build me one if I paid for it, but I'm not so sure how reliable he is in that department. But ultimately, this is giving me the same effects. I just have to split it up into two exercises, which is fine. So how do I do it on this side? The knee this way. Oh, God. Ooh. Oh, that feels like it's getting cramp. Oh, yeah, it really feels like a cramp. If you bend this way with it. Oh. I feel like I'm on the wrong angle. Oh, That's nasty. I feel it more on the right side. I think I did it better on this side. I think it's really important that you bend with it. But that's cool. That certainly feels a lot better than the pullovers. Now, the only issue is I have to do it unilaterally, which I don't really like doing unilateral if I don't have to, because it takes more time. But I have to because I don't have the cable pullover machine. And really, I think even then the Novice machine wouldn't really allow for that peak contraction of the lower lat because it requires you to bend, and you can't do that through a bilateral movement. Oh my God. Scheiße. All right. Ooh.